Hello and welcome back to Novel Gaming.
I'm Doug.
I'm Katie. We are talking about mentors in video games. I wanted to see if in general there were certain questions or characteristics or things that came to mind as you were thinking about and deciding who you would pick.
I think I thought about the role of the character in the story in relationship to the protagonist. It was like a huge thing, right? Because sometimes you have allies or party members or, characters who might help you along the way via quests or advice or giving you an item or something. But mentor feels like very specific. It feels like someone who guides or somebody who teaches. There's like a status there. Even if they are a peer, there's still some sort of status there, whether it's their experience or their knowledge or something like that. Those are kind of the questions I was asking, because it can get kind of gray the more you think about it.
Yeah. Well, cool. You want to kick us off and tell us the who and the why of your character?
Yeah, so like I said, the first one I think kind of clarifies a little bit of where I was drawing the line between mentor and maybe just a character who helps, or a character who's just part of the story in a particular role. The very first thing I thought of when I thought of mentor characters in video games, unsurprisingly, the Pokemon professors, right? So I was like, but who? Like, which one to me represents mentorship? Because I would argue not all of them do.
Yeah.
Like, some of them aren't characters really throughout the whole game, or they only show up every once in a while, or they are only there to sort of give you information or exposition, or just to give you your first Pokemon and congratulate you at the end, So I would argue they're not actually all mentors, even though they are probably intended to be. The one that I think best embodies mentorship is from Pokemon Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon, Professor Kukui, who is the Pokemon professor, but he's with you along your whole journey.
Cool.
And he is much more of a teacher and a guide, and somebody who teaches through experience and learns through doing, and you get to witness that in a really unique way. And I think a big part of that is because of what Pokemon Sun and Moon are. The region is 4 islands, and each island has a trial that you have to do. It's much more of a coming of age story for youths. And because of that, Kukui goes with you. It's it's not like this is a region where tons of kids are going off on their journey. It's that you are going on this journey and your friend is going on this journey, and Kukui is guiding you through it. It's not even the person who gives you your Pokemon. That might be unique to him.
Wow.
He doesn't. Yeah, you don't go to him to get your Pokemon, which I think forces them to put him in a more you got to rationalize why the professor's there at all, I guess.
Yeah, why else would he be there?
And there's a character in the game that he takes in and who doesn't have a home, and he takes them in and teaches them and allows them to help him with his research. And I just think he,
what a
more than most
professor. Yeah,
absolutely. I think he, more than most professors, actually embodies what I think a good mentor is, versus just simply a teacher or simply somebody that you can get information from.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Good pick.
Yeah. And Kukui's got hobbies. He's like a pro wrestler, but don't tell anyone because he thinks we don't know,
Dang.
But we know. What was your first pick? And how'd you land on him?
It was the first that came to mind, but also the one that is probably the weakest with the criteria of relationship to the main character and all this kind of stuff. And it is the great Deku Tree from the Legend of Zelda series.
I like that.
Yeah. So in Ocarina of Time, the Deku Tree is kind of your first temple, and then shows up later in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom as a character you can interact with and who, you can also go inside of.
Don't say it like that.
Constantly inside of the Deku Tree. We love nature. But the reason it fits because, especially in Ocarina of Time, the connection to Link, the connection to the Kokiri Forest dwellers, I feel like is much stronger. I feel like in Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, you don't really interact with them in like as significant ways as in Ocarina of Time, I think. But in Ocarina of Time, the Deku Tree kind of like kicks things off and is like, okay, Navi, go like wake up Link and like bring him to me. We got to get some stuff started. And like gives you a little bit of information, gives you a little bit of direction as to where like you need to go next, but ultimately doesn't go with you. But leaves you with a character, a companion who can help continue on in the Deku Tree's absence.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was more so the vibe, right? This like great guardian spirit of the forest who like helps the people and beings around, and then ultimately helps you get on your journey and lets you do your thing, which sometimes mentors are only in our life for a little bit of time. So a tree is my first pick.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm also glad you picked it and mentioned Navi, because Navi was somebody that I thought of and was kind of helpful in clarifying, where it's like, Navi's with you the whole time, but I wouldn't really consider Navi a mentor. I would consider Navi either a guide or just simply an ally, if we're being generous, because people have feelings about Navi.
Hey, listen!
Right, but I mean, the character of Navi, or that like archetype, is so common in games, especially of the time. I was thinking of those characters too, and that helped me sort of clarify the difference between a character who helps and a character who mentors.
Yeah, I like that. And if you like that and want to hear more of our conversation, more of our mentor picks, feel free to check out the description below, where we link to our podcast episode where we talk about mentors in video games. Feel free to also drop some of your favorite mentors in the comments. We'd love to see them. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for, a new video in the near future. Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.